Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Tabletop Tavern. I'm so excited to see you. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Jenny. I will be your DM now and forever and ever. Please get used to it. Welcome to our Campaign 1 finale, Part 1. I'm going to allow my lovely players and our guest players to introduce themselves, beginning with the fabulous, the beautiful, the wearing white for her wedding day, Victoria Shaz.
Hi everyone, my name is Victoria and I play Lione LaBelle.
Hi, I'm Pippin and I play Ariadne and Kailte.
Hi, I'm Doe, or Dodir, and I play Gress Littlefoot.
Hi, I'm Stacy and I'm going to be playing Bebofkin.
And hi, I'm Allie. I'm going to play Maxilla Osteoclast.
All right, and for those of you who weren't here last week or have maybe missed quite a bit of our content, I do like to start every session with a little rundown of what happened last episode on the Tabletop Tavern. Ariadne attended Marius Steele's bachelor party. It was a quick, fun little romp that ended with them killing a stag, because what else are you supposed to do at a stag party? Meanwhile, Gris and Lione got in some good old-fashioned bonding time, drank a little champagne, and had a bath. It was a lovely little interlude in what has been a pretty heavy campaign arc, so I hope that everybody's sort of feeling refreshed, because I do not plan on giving any of you a break. Are you all ready?
Oh, I was
No.
ready.
Guest players, are you ready?
Yeah.
Aye, aye, Captain.
All right. We pick up on the morning of Lione LaBelle's wedding. The morning dawns clear and warm. The smoke of distant fires obscures the sun from view, bathing the human capital city of Alis in hazy light. The effect is almost romantic. There is a nostalgic, almost dreamlike quality of the air that one would pick up on if they weren't preoccupied by what exactly is causing this quality. Although the ceremony is not scheduled into the evening and to be hosted off-site atop the cliffs overlooking the harbor, two wedding guests approach the LaBelle Manor. One, well over 1.5 feet taller than her companion, lugs a set of heavy, overstuffed, ornate suitcases. The other is impossibly light on her feet and bagless, tail swinging behind her in time with her hips. Maxilla and Bee, you approach the LaBelle Manor. Neither of you have actually been here before, but you know Alis relatively well. You haven't really spent a lot of time in the Noble Center, but Bee is a little bit more familiar than you are, Max. She had a merchant friend of hers who lived here once that she stayed with for a few months until his wife found out. So you approach the manor, the address that you were given in your invitations, and see that it is stunningly beautiful. There are large, pristine white marble columns supporting a beautiful veranda out front, a large set of mahogany doors in front of you with a dragon knocker on the front.
Well, shoot, ain't this fancy? I didn't know Lione was a celebrity.
Oh, darling, it's okay. We'll fit right in. Just follow my lead.
All right, I'll follow you.
Bee's gonna try to take the knocker with her tail and knock it very gently.
You're gonna knock with your tail? Can
Yeah.
I get an acrobatics check?
Yeah. That is a dirty 20.
All right. So you take your tail, you wrap the end of it around the knocker, and knock twice. Not 3 times, that's tacky. Not once, because that communicates that you're ill-bred, and you, Bebofkin, come from only the best halfling stock.
Now, I ain't used to high society, but what do you do if you don't got a tail?
I never considered that. What do you do?
I don't know. I mean, usually we just kind of let ourselves in, or if we don't know them that well, we'll do knock, but usually we just bang loud enough so they can hear us out in the fields, so.
Do you bang on the door to demonstrate
No.
that, Maxilla?
No, I do not, because Bee has very, very eloquently done it with her tail.
As you discuss the proper knocking mannerisms, the door swings open. Standing in the doorway is a tall, though not nearly as tall as Maxilla, thin man dressed in a good suit, his graying hair slicked back to his head. Greetings. May I ask why a hellspawn and a orc come a-calling?
We're VIP. Maxilla, thank you for carrying my bags, but you can hand them to him now.
I put the bags down.
The man looks at the bags, looks up to Maxilla and down to V. Are you here for Lady LaBelle's wedding?
Of course. What else would we be here for? Is there
The
other
carnival,
business?
perhaps? I thought maybe the circus was in town.
Why would we attend the circus? I look over to Maxilla.
Well, no, I presumed that you were in it, though I suppose that is my own slight. He sort of waves his hands, and Maxilla, these very heavy bags that you were carrying for B, lift into the air easily and sort of one by one file through the doorway, which he holds open for you.
Well, shoot, that's mighty kind of you. Appreciate it. Thought I was going to have to carry those all the way in.
No, ma'am, it is my job.
B leans over to Maxilla and is like, do you think he was talking about your gun show?
I mean, if they need us to do an entertainment, I think we could throw something together.
We could. I'm gonna take it as a compliment for now. Either way, let's go find Lione.
If you are looking for Lady LaBelle, she is in her chambers, preparing for this evening's events. Should I prepare a guest room for the two of you? Or 2 guest rooms for the two of you? Maybe 3, one for your bags. You do know you are not the bride, correct?
What are the qualities of the guest rooms?
Madam, I believe you can assume the qualities based off of the home. You find yourself standing in a large entryway. The ceiling is maybe 20 feet above your heads, and in front of you is a large marble staircase, probably 50 feet wide, with beautiful, ornate golden railings leading up either side. It goes upwards for about a flight and then bridges in 2 different directions, presumably to a series of rooms. To your left, you can see a sitting area, its own kind of private little mini library. Beyond you, you have to assume, are the dining room, the library, all kinds of fancy manor accoutrements.
Yeah, we'll take a room because we gotta get somewhere to get ready. And where could you point us in the direction of the Leone's chambers? This is a maze.
I shall escort you, madam. What is your name?
Maxilla Osteoclast. You can just call me Maxilla.
Lady Osteoclast and
Bofkin.
Lady Bofkin, if you will follow me, I will show you to Lady LaBelle's chambers, and then I will deliver your bags to your rooms.
I pat him on the back, and I'm like, thanks, I appreciate it.
You are quite strong. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
He leads you up the stairs and to down a long hallway. To your right is a large, beautiful, hand-painted door, upon which hangs an intricate gold filigreed L. You're not sure if this is for LaBelle or Lione. It really is a mystery to you. However, on the other side of the door, you can hear voices. Lione and Gris. Gris, you are helping Lione get ready for her wedding. Ari, are you hanging out with them or are you doing your own thing?
Probably doing my own thing. Also, am I hungover?
Ariadne, you are very hungover.
Then I'm definitely doing my own thing.
All right, yeah. Whatever it is that Travis gave you, it fucked you up.
I'm out of practice.
All right. Lione and Gris, what are you talking about? Leone's handmaiden is there too. She's rather quiet. She's been kind of weepy all day. Lione, she was like a sister to you, and so you imagine that she's just kind of processing the fact that you're in a different stage of your life now.
Darling, you need to stop crying. I'm
I-
not crying, and I'm the one getting married.
I know, you're going to move on and move in somewhere else, and I'm gonna really miss you.
You think that me and Marius living in the LaBelle Manor right now are going to live anywhere but the LaBelle Manor?
I don't know what rich people do, Leo.
I'm not leaving the LaBelle Manor.
Do you not end up with a second manor?
Do we have a second manor? That's a good idea.
Well, I mean, I just would assume you'd want your own space.
What if, hear me out on this, much to think about, I ask Marius to build us a summer home.
Does Marius know how to build things?
No, I didn't mean him build it. Like, I ask him to, like, facilitate having one built.
Leon,
it
I
myself
don't
if I
know
have
how
to.
rich people work.
Yeah, we
I don't
don't.
either, and it's okay.
We just
Oh.
have money, and then we boost the economy by paying other people to do things.
What about the Steel Manor? Would you ever move into the Steel
Absolutely
Manor?
not.
Oh, okay.
I have no love for Marius's father. And he has no love for me.
Okay.
Well,
you
remember
could-
this situation? Remember this part?
Yes, I do. I do remember that
This part, not tolerated by most people.
Well, I like them. They match
Me
mine.
too. I like them as well.
At this point, Leon, you can hear Bertram outside of your door talking to someone. No.
Leon casts Mage Hand and opens her door without
Outside
moving
of-
from her table.
Outside of your door, you can see Bertram, ever prim and proper, Maxilla in her very best pair of overalls, and B, who's dressed pretty normally for B. You have to assume she's getting ready at some point, and probably Maxilla is too. But they're standing in front of the door, kind of staring in at you.
Leon kind of like leans back so that she can look through the doorway and be like, Maxilla and B, come on in. You got here okay. Did you find everything okay?
Leon!
Hi, hello.
Bee's gonna run over, but right before she hugs her, kind of like stops and then gives her a hug.
Leon hugs her back.
With a deep inhale. She does a deep inhale.
Gris is just gonna go ahead and like run to Maxilla and try and give her a hug as best as she can. Obviously, there is a significant height difference there.
Axel's gonna get down on one knee to like really get in there, like really just full on hug. Like
Gris is like, oh, you smell like hay in the farm. How is everything? How is everyone?
well, we're booming now. We've got all a field full of brand new sproutlings, and they all look super healthy, and we don't even got no mites or nothing.
So it worked.
It's amazing.
Yeah, we're doing great.
Awesome. Good.
Leon,
Good, I'm glad.
you're getting married
I am.
to
Are you
someone else.
I know, I'm so sorry.
What happened, Leon?
I'm so sorry.
I thought I was good enough.
I didn't know that there was ever a thing between.
Leon cast a message and is like, there wasn't.
She'll just do this to everybody that gets married that she's ever
It's
talked
okay.
to.
And Leon is like gently patting B on the back, but like her like face is away because like she presumes that like they've already started her makeup. So like she's like trying not to like get B's tears, however crocodile they may be, like on her makeup. And she's like, yeah, it's something about Marius.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the lingerie, Leon?
I thought that was
Brought it. What do you think the bags are for?
I'm going to good use at least.
I thought didn't you send her lingerie, B?
Mhm.
Yes, but this is for us now. It's our lingerie for us to share. I guess it can just be a gift. Forget what I said. It's a wedding gift.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Gris
It's
is
much
really
appreciated.
processing right now.
Leon looks at Maxilla and is like, so did you have any trouble finding the place?
No, your little feller here was real helpful. Your whole house is
Bertram.
ginormous.
Oh, I mean, it's normal.
I don't go anywhere in this house without Bertram, because one time I stumbled and I entered a room and then I locked myself in.
That happened. And why did no one tell me?
It's quite true, Mom. But as you know, part of my job is to make sure that any catastrophes in the house are resolved before you or your mother take notice.
To
Okay.
be fair, the door wasn't really locked, I just couldn't reach the handle.
Oh, dear God.
And there wasn't anything to step on, so Bertram helped me out. I just kind of sat there and shouted Bertram for a few minutes, and he came.
He's
It's
good for
quite
that.
true. Yes, I am. Has anyone seen your elf friend?
Oh, I thought you were going to
Ari,
say
no,
Greg.
I haven't seen Ari yet today. Marius was a little hungover this morning. I did receive words from him about him. To him, I gave him some words about getting too drunk the night before our wedding. But I'm sure it's all fine now. Perhaps Marius and Ari are together. I don't know.
Bee will quickly dry up her tears and be like, "Oh, Ari, where is Ari?"
Oh,
As good as ours.
but don't get too excited, because there might be some new equipment on Ari. And Gris just like, basically
I
just...
married Ari and Lily. If you're not understanding this,
I thought it was very obvious.
I leave
yes.
for a couple days.
Mhm.
Humble.
Several months.
It's been more than a few days, but I'll let that go.
It's okay. I just want you guys to know I'm still remain loyal to you guys.
I
to
haven't
hear.
married anybody else, if that makes you feel better, B.
Baby.
Just walks over to like give her a hug. Like, they're there.
As Bee weeps over the fact that everyone she's ever loved marries other people, Ariadne, you awaken in your guest room. The shades have been drawn, not by you. You kind of stumbled in here last night and passed out on the bed. It appears that someone has maybe prestidigitated you clean. There is no stag blood on you, your clothes, the bed itself. Next to the bed is a large glass of water and a small glass of the alcohol that you were served the night before by Travis, with a note in the handwriting of what you can only assume is Bertram, as it's far too neat to be Marius's and far, 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 far too neat to be Travis's. That says, "A little hair of the dog. B."
Oh.
Oh.
I'll
B
pick
the
up-
letter.
Yeah. No, I figured. No, I was like, oh, yes. No. I'll pick up the note and just kind of chuckle at it and put it back down. And then just like take the shot and then chug the water afterwards and then just sort of go like and like extreme vocal fry.
All right, Ariadne, you, from what you know, there's not much you have to do today. You are essentially Marius's best man. The term he used was best elf, which you have to assume was an attempt to make it both gender neutral and non-offensive to elves. And he didn't really give you any kind of schedule for the day. It seems that he's running on groom's time. He mentioned maybe taking a bath and brushing his hair before the wedding. You do know that Gris had mentioned that she would be helping Lione get ready, but there's not much that you're required to do today.
Cool. Then I'll probably just like freshen up a little, like wash my face and these things. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty much set and go find Marius. With it, not counting the clothes, I'm just like, I mean, I've been prestidigitated clean.
All right, you're gonna go find Marius?
Yeah.
All right, Marius slept in a guest room last night. From what you know, he's been sharing a room with Lione. But first of all, she was a little bit angry about him getting a little too drunk the night before, but also he'd said something about bullshit traditions that Lione was very invested in that he was going to compromise on. So you head downstairs after checking the guest room he was in the night before and see him seated in the library among the towering shelves of books you and Galen and Gris once perused for information. He's pushed together 2 armchairs to form like a quasi bed and has his knees tucked up against his body with his torso extended. He's lying between the chairs, looking up at the ceiling. There's a wet washcloth over his head, and he has a glass of water and a small shot of alcohol next to him as well.
Oh,
Ariadne, is that you?
yes, Marius, it is.
Ariadne, we are so fucking stupid.
I mean, I knew that. I'm sorry you had to find out this way, though.
Yeah, no, one time somebody called me the greatest military mind of my generation, and, honestly, after last night, I'm concerned for the future of our military.
Well, you never know. I'm sure this year's graduates are perfectly capable.
I highly doubt that. Ariadne, I need you to make me a promise as my best elf.
Yes. Tell me what the promise is first.
As my elf of honor, I need you to promise me that
I'll
next
I'll
time,
go in close and I'll lean next to him and I'm just like, yes. Yes, darling.
the next time I decide to go shot for shot with an orc, I need you to just kill me because it'll be a faster and more painless way to die.
Oh. I'll just sort of laugh out loud for a second, and I'll just take his arm and squeeze it, and I'm just like, if I'm around, I'll keep that promise.
What do you mean if you're around?
Well, I'm not, and I'll backtrack, and I'll be like, well, I'm not exactly in charge of when you decide to go shot for shot with an orc now, am I? I'm not exactly going to be by your bedside 24/7, especially not after tonight.
He reaches up and grabs you by the shirt and pulls you in and goes, "What the fuck, Ariadne? What kind of friend wouldn't be there for you when you are piss drunk?"
I was there for you when you were pissed drunk.
I know, and you were piss drunk too, so it doesn't count. What the hell? I thought you were my best elf. I thought you were my elf of honor.
I'm very sorry. I apologize. If you'd rather, and I go to stand up, and I'm like, if you'd rather someone else, well.
No. Okay, I'm sorry. So you want me to choose between you, Travis, and Thad? Thad's a dumb shit. And Travis refuses to admit that we're friends.
Yeah, don't worry. We're not friends technically. Travis and I still aren't friends. I'm still his best regular, which I think is, the highest honor.
He calls me his very good regular, and I've been to his bar twice.
I've been to his bar at least 3 times. So I'm, it's a matter of seniority here.
Okay, all right. What do you mean after tonight you're not going to... I'm getting married. I can still have friends. I just can't have, other wives. Ariadne, I thought you understood. Didn't you get married 2 days ago?
I did, but I also know that I was very abruptly asked to leave. And I just meant I think you might be otherwise occupied for the foreseeable future.
Ariadne, I don't know what you get up to in your spare time, but that only takes me 40 minutes feels a little generous.
Listen, the premise you gave me for this promise was when you get his drunk, and I'm like, I can't guarantee that you're there all the time. I don't know what you do. You're a grown man.
Do you think I'm drinking with Lione? She has 1 glass of champagne and she's like, "Oh me, I'm tipsy."
Well, that's also Lione.
Yes, well, I mean, she's beautiful, and I love her more than anything in the world, and I would murder so many men for her, but I'm a little concerned that you think that you're not going to be drinking with me once I'm married.
Well, unless I can, and I try and just like, I'll like look around at the books, and I'm like, well, unless I can keep getting whatever it is Travis got us, for me, then I go back to my best monk self, and life is, it's just not gonna be that great.
You seem weird. Are you weird? Do you need to like talk about something? Are you okay?
You're asking me if you're telling me I've seen weird Marys. How long have we known each other at this point? This is
at like a year?
right, and you're telling me that I've been normal
Well,
thus far.
I mean, you've been you're just you're avoiding the question, Ariadne.
What question? You didn't ask one.
I asked, he sits up, he opens his eyes for the first time all day, he looks at you through bloodshot eyes and says,
Oh no.
I asked you if you needed to talk.
No, not really.
Okay. And he takes the shot and then chases it with a bunch of water like you did and goes, all right, so if Travis offers us anything to drink before
will make
the
sure
wedding,
you say no.
or yes, all right, perfect. I mean, you can say whatever the hell you want. You do have to make a speech later. I don't know if I told you that.
I do. Yeah, you didn't. But you know what? People in this family tend to have a habit of just expecting me to talk.
Well, it's the reception, so we'll just get everybody really drunk, and then you can say like 3 words, and
It's fine. Mary, I don't mind helping you celebrate your wedding to Lione.
Thank you. What? You're happy to help me, right? You don't mind.
I'm very happy to help you. Yes.
Okay. I just, I'm not getting cold feet about the wedding. I'm getting cold feet about you being my best elf and maybe hating the entire thing.
Absolutely. It wouldn't matter if not that I do, but it wouldn't matter if I did, because you asked me to, and it makes you happy.
It does make me happy. It does. You know what else makes me happy?
What?
Lione. What do you think she's doing? Do you think she'd yell at us if we tried to go see her?
Well, not me. I'm not marrying her. You, yes, absolutely.
I think that'd be funny, right? Unless she sets us on fire. But she's yet to do that.
She has yet to do that. Well,
has she set you on fire?
There's some close calls.
Every day is an adventure with her, man.
But really, how much more trouble do you really want to be in with your future wife?
Well, I think trouble is fun. Plus, then we can do like a 40-minute makeup activity later and it'll be good.
40-minute makeup activity.
Today is whatever you want. Honestly, you want to make good decisions? I'm by you. You want to make bad decisions? I'm also by you. Especially because I won't be suffering the consequences of those.
I'm about to make the best decision of my life. I feel like I'm allowed to make a couple bad decisions before then.
That seems pretty fair.
Thank you.
But yeah, I believe you asked where she was. I expect she's in her room getting ready. Aren't enough hours in a day for her to get ready for a wedding, especially her own.
Well, I mean, I think that she could roll up there in her underwear and no makeup, and I'd...
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't
you? Ariadne. I mean, yeah, but... don't say that in the speech. Don't put that in the speech.
I will not.
Okay, I feel like maybe you need some guidelines, Ariadne.
I feel like I did pretty well with your guidelines for the party.
That's true. The stag decorations were nice. Let's, he stands up, he looks at you, and gets this, little mischievous smile, and he's like, let's go fuck with Leone's morning. Leone, you and Gris and Maxilla and Bee are now in your room. Your handmaiden has brought a couple of chairs. One normal-sized chair for Bee. It's just sort of a wooden number. And then Maxilla, she has managed to, like, lug in an armchair that's slightly larger and higher off the ground so that you can sit comfortably in it.
I was gonna say I can take like. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I could have helped you carry it in. That looks real heavy. Great job.
No, it's no problem. I carry things a lot, actually. Yeah, it's weird because Bertram will ask me to carry things and he can do the whole, and she does like a little finger waving thing. But
why he asks you to do that?
I think because he thinks it's a little funny.
Yeah, he would.
That's sort of humor.
Well, I mean, he can be funny sometimes. He's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
I mean, he raised me.
Did a great job.
Thank
With
you.
you. Yeah.
What?
Nothing. Bee, so since you're here,
It's my wedding day.
I was wondering if and Gris is like flipping through her like scrapbook, and she's like, I don't understand makeup. I don't wear a ton of it. I just put a little. But you need someone to be there to give you a second opinion. And look at Bee, gorgeous.
It's true, Lady LaBelle. It's not good luck to do your own makeup for your wedding. It's also rather cheap. And she shoots you like a little wink.
Lione looks at Bee and is like, if I need Bee, you haven't met my mother. But if it's not according to what my mother thinks I should look like today, my wrath is nothing.
Okay, I have a diagram. Luciana and I agreed on a diagram.
Please follow the diagram.
Gris like hands you this piece of paper that's like hand drawn and has like little hatch marks for where the blush goes and like little notes that say, okay, this color here, not too much pink, and then a bright lip.
Not too much pink, Bee. Go easy on the pink, Bee.
What would happen if I don't make it according to the diagram?
My mother. Okay, Bee. I'm just like my mother, except I'm a bit more of a tame version of my mother.
What would you do if I don't follow the diagram then?
I would probably glamour myself to look like it's following the diagram. But apparently that's cheap. So,
I mean, Lady LaBelle.
People could see through it. People want that.
I would
you
if I
look-
have to.
Well, I mean, all right.
I'm just saying follow the diagram. That's all I'm saying. Follow the diagram, please.
Gris just
we'll
like
all die.
nods eagerly at Bee and kind of escorts her over to the vanity and is like, okay, have
And
fun.
Leone is like, and it's not a bright lip, it's like a blush pink.
Sorry, by bright I mean not dark.
Not
But
red,
it's still.
much to my chagrin.
I don't think it'd be cheap if you picked the colors then and I did the application.
Okay, perfect. You know what? Teamwork. Teamwork.
Okay.
See, I love
This
it.
one, bronzer, and I point at the blush.
That's blush.
Yes, but I use it as bronzer.
That's because you're pink. Okay.
You pick the colors.
Okay.
Gris is like, oh shit. Maybe I could have done it.
So Leone kind of like marks, like she like literally takes like a quill and like writes blush next to the color of the one that she wants blush. She writes bronzer next to the one that she wants as bronzer and next to the lip color and is just like, okay, there.
Aren't you worried this foundation color will like make you look pale?
Look at me.
She is quite pale, Bee.
Okay. I'm just saying, I don't want you to look washed out.
Look at me.
Okay.
So, Bee, as you do Leone's makeup, let's first get a sleight of hand check.
Oh God.
I'm gonna call makeup sleight of hand.
Oh no.
I think Bee has like +8
I
to
think
sleight of
so.
hand.
I have +13.
Oh, bless up.
So
You're good.
You're good.
Right.
All right, so
Fantastic.
she begins to apply your makeup, and every so often you sneak a little peek into the mirror, and you look so good, Lione. Like, you are a vain person. You would be the first person to admit that maybe you check yourself out a little too often, but like, B. Bothkin, she has the gift of making people sexy. You feel absolutely ethereal. As you think this, Maxilla, you're kind of seated in the chair closest to the door. You hear some pounding on the door.
How many knocks, Jenny?
3.
Heavens.
Sounds like company.
There shouldn't be
Companies.
company.
Please
And
make
if
sure
it was
it's
my
not
mother,
someone
she
Marius.
was
else?
10.
Hold on. Maxilla, come with me. And Gris rushes to the door and, like, cracks it open and squeezes herself out and gestures to Maxilla to follow.
Yeah, Maxilla will like peep through the crack, like half of her face is like, "Hello."
So
Standing
Gris is
there,
yeah.
Chris, standing in front of you is the incredibly hungover Ariadne and Marius.
Ari?
Gris,
Marius, you can't be here. You need to go. Ari, are you hungover?
I can be wherever the hell I want. I live
is
here.
True. This
It is your
home.
wedding day, Marius, and you cannot see the bride until it is time to be wed. She has been very explicit about this, as has her mother. I have like 5 sheets of paper that say the exact same thing. You're not allowed to be here.
What if he
Okay.
closes his eyes?
Chris, like, sticking
Yeah, what
the
if-
book through the door.
What if I close? Is that Maxilla?
You can say hi to
Oh.
Maxilla.
Have we met?
This
is an Allison question.
Here's the thing. I actually haven't met you. This is just going off of descriptions that I've heard from Travis.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Travis was telling me about when we were getting ready to come here. Yeah, you're one of Travis's closest regulars.
Yes, Travis and I are friends. It's weird he won't say that name right. You know, Travis went on and on and on about you
Lady
last
sweet.
night.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, it was my bachelor party. We consumed a tasteful amount of liquor, and we feel great about it now.
Wouldn't say tasteful
Afterwards.
considering what I saw of my husband this morning.
Well,
Is he alive?
Yeah, barely, just barely. Reminder that he is small compared to the rest of you.
we know he didn't.
Yeah, he likes to.
Do
think
you
he's-
remember that you yourself tried to drink like a my-sized kind of serving, and you saw what it did to you? Well, you're made for each other.
Kind of you say, but yes, he's alive. He was also wild shaped into a bear this morning. So, yeah.
In the manor? Oh, I should have seen that. That would have Ariadne. That would have been way more entertaining.
Well,
than...
if you'd like to walk down the hall to our guest room, I'm sure he's still there.
I'm just actually here to see Lione. Is she here so I can see her with my eyes that I have?
She's here, but what if you saw her not with your eye, but maybe you touched hands through the door?
Okay. I mean,
Okay, I'll be back. And Gris kind of pushes like under Maxilla's legs through the door and like shuffles over to Lione, and she's like, Marius would like to see you. I have told him he can't see you, but that maybe you could stand on either side of the door and like hold hands or something and chat.
I'm not in the dress yet.
Well, it's up to you. I just have it written here 7 times from Luciana that says, do not let bride see groom. And then it's also repeated, do not let Marius see
Yeah.
Lione.
Yeah, no, that's my mother in a nutshell. Lione stands up, and I want everyone to get an understanding of what she's wearing right now.
Mhm.
It is a robe. It's mesh. It's floor length. Giant sleeves, feathers around the sleeves. Feathers on the robe, feathers on
course.
the bottom.
Of course.
It's white. It's the most dramatic robe you've ever seen in your life. Lione has several of these in all colors. Specifically got the white one for her wedding day.
Okay, I'm picturing Bee standing behind her trying to figure out how she can, like, grab it off of her body and steal it and leave.
I mean, with a plus 13 to sleight of hand, you never.
Can Lione see Bee eyeballing it?
I'm just checking you out, baby.
I have a pink one.
You want?
I have like 15 of these.
Who's bothering Leon on this? You can't rush perfection.
The makeup, by the way, looks amazing. I'm gonna go tend to Marius before he breaks down the door, and then my mother might know. So
For the record, it would be very difficult to break down the door with an orc standing behind it.
Yeah, Maxwell hasn't moved behind the door.
Leon walks over to the door and kind of like right underneath Maxilla, like sticks her arm out and like pokes half of her head through the door and is like, "Hi, how you feeling? How you both feeling? Feeling good? Feeling great?"
As you poke your head out, Marius, who clearly did not think it would get this far, shoves his hand over his eyes and goes, I didn't see anything.
Don't want to incur the wrath of Luciana, huh?
Or, I mean, it's bad luck, right? It's
yeah,
bad
that's
luck.
a fair point.
Maxilla, is it bad luck?
Yes, it's bad luck.
Leon
Yeah, it is bad
Leon
luck,
keeps
I
her
guess.
hand out, moves her head away, and is like, "It's just my hand now."
He uncovers his eyes dramatically, Ariadne, and, like, looks at you the entire time as he, like, awkwardly grabs at Leon's hand. Leon, he squeezes your hand and leans really close to the door and whispers, Ariadne, you can hear it. Maxilla, you can hear it, but you don't understand it. In the most heavily accented Elvish possible. I love you, and I'm excited to get married to you.
Leon says it back in Elvish.
He then pulls away and goes, all right, Ariadne, are you going to stay here? Are you going to come with me? Do you want to... I was going to read, maybe go for a walk. Maybe ask Bertram if he can do any of that. And he does, like, his own little, like, wiggly hand gesture to make the headache go away. Lione, I feel great. You didn't hear that? I feel excellent. I made no mistakes last night.
It's fine. All I was going to say is Ari B's here as well, if you want to come in. You're more than welcome to. And Leon walks back over to her table.
I'll turn to Marius and go, I mean, like I said, it's up to you. It's not like I've done this before, and there's not generally much else to do. So if you want me around, then I'm around. If you don't, then you don't.
I have done this before.
I remember, yes.
Yes.
But I hope your last best man or person was not nearly as me. Well, there weren't me.
It was that, and he was 16.
There you go. That's your answer.
Yeah. And I made the mistake of letting him drink brandy, so... You're doing better by a long shot right off the bat. You know, he tried to bring a lacrosse stick to the ceremony. It was a whole thing. How about you go spend some time with the ladies, and I will see you at... I was going to say see you at the altar. That makes it sound like I'm marrying you. Wouldn't be a bad thing, but you're already taken. So,
Yes. Go, and maybe the Bertram idea is good. Let me know if it works.
I will. I'll send him up here if it works for me. And if not, assume that he scolded me, because he's done that before.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Right. And he just, like, gives you a really awkward bro hug, pats you on the back, and goes, I'm excited to get married with you as my best elf.
Ditto. Except it's the opposite.
As your groom that's not your... Okay, Ariadne...
I understand.
Yes, you're the best friend I've ever had.
We know what we're about. See, and this is why I don't get why all of you people keep asking me to speak at things.
Well, I mean, I'm supposed to give a speech. I gotta do vows. You know, that sounds...
true.
What am I supposed to say?
Official.
I love you would work, probably.
Yeah.
Chris,
Except
this is a
maybe we
private
should
conversation.
Literally all of us are against the door like this.
Everyone can hear this.
But if you want to include any more Elvish perhaps run it by me first, and I can help you.
Okay. In my defense, I had to get Luciana to teach me that so I could surprise Lione. So
That's totally fair, and
And
it was very sweet.
I don't know if she doesn't really speak common in a normal accent. So I'm gonna go. I should stop
Okay.
insulting my mother-in-law. I can feel her eyes on me at all time. And I will see you later. Don't forget to change.
I won't. I will remember. I will be reminded if I don't remember.
That's true. Nobody's gonna remind me though. Do you have a quill?
Oh my god.
You want me to come check on you, Marius?
Chris, private conversation.
I have a long list of to-dos. I'll just add to it.
Do you have a quill, Ariadne?
Yeah. I've already like pulled.
He rolls up his sleeve and writes on an area that will be covered by a sleeve in the future.
It just says get dressed.
On shirt.
Clothes.
Oh my god.
He gives you a thumbs up and he's like, we really should not have drank that much last night.
No, well, I'm just out of practice. I will keep my promise to you.
I've been living with my teetotaling fiance, so I really
There
haven't
you
had
go.
an opportunity. Yeah.
All right. I'll help him like walk down a little or I'm like actually get going. But I also want to just like lean in just for a second, be like actual private conversation this time. Be like, oh, and one more thing, the packet that Bertram gave you, just it's not important right now. Just leave it for later and I'll walk you through it.
We can walk through it now. I'm sure that
No, I'm just like I didn't want you because of last night, if you even remember. I didn't want you to have to worry about it till way after.
Okay. I do remember that. It's slightly after that point where things get a little
Okay, so at least we have a timeline. I will cover for you whatever in that span of time was, provided that I also remember.
All right, awesome. I'll see you at the venue.
Yep.
There's a cottage.
We said
you can come.
we'll see
We gotta,
you, and I'm already
yeah.
turning around and walking back to the room and just going like, yes, goodbye. We've said it like 3 times. I'll see. Bye.
All right, you're still being weird, Ariadne. I just thought I'd put it out there. Marius goes down the stairs.
And I'll go. I presuming the door is still ajar, and I'm like, well, there's no point in knocking. Can I come in, Lione? I don't know what's been written about that in the decrees of Luciana Labelle.
Honestly, Luciana, if Luciana, my mother, has something to say about it, then she's got a lot of other things going on right now. I don't even know if she's on the premises.
I haven't seen her today, actually.
That's
She's
fair.
probably
Anyways,
at the
I'll
venue harassing some poor
Oh
people
my God.
about plants.
Yeah.
I'll make my way in and sort of just like give a wave to B and then to Maxilla.
B is gonna completely run over to Ari the exact same way she did to Lione, except for she's not gonna pause to hug Ari. Instead, she's just gonna put all of her weight.
Ariadne's strength check.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The acrobatics check.
Oh, okay.
That's a nat 1.
B acrobatics check.
Wait. Math.
no.
It does it for you,
31
Jesus. What is your modifier for acrobatics?
plus 13.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ. All right. So B sprints at you at full speed as you close the door behind you. Maxilla is adjacent to you. Maxilla, let's get a dexterity save from you. B launches herself at you, and it is incredibly graceful. She actually does kind of a front handspring in her excitement, wraps her arms around your neck, her legs around your waist, sending you toppling over. Max, what was your dex save?
8.
Sending you toppling over into Maxilla, who kind of stumbles backwards and manages to catch both of you, but slams herself up against the wall in the process. You all kind of sink to the floor in a weird dog pile with B on top.
I'll
This
just
is
give out
Maxilla's heaven.
It's wonderful to see you all again.
Are you okay?
Mexico takes the opportunity to just wrap them both in the hug and be like, Ari, you looking sharp? Looking nice?
You too. And I'll just like lean my head back against Maxilla and sort of just like ragdoll. And just go, you too. It's very nice. I missed you both. Missed you both. Yeah. I preferred things in slow motion.
You had an eventful night, huh, Ari?
Yeah, Travis, I could get drunk again. It was a gift
Good.
from Travis.
Again?
Very fun.
Out of practice?
I needed the practice.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you were able to get drunk again.
Yeah, me too.
That
A
reminds me.
sentence I never thought I'd hear uttered.
Leon, are we
like a tear
drinking
falls.
tonight?
We're not drinking tonight. Well, you can. It's
a
my
wedding.
wedding night.
I'll get
Maxilla-
tastefully drunk.
I like
Is it open bar? And
Obviously.
Ursula
Oh my
flips
God.
through her notes and she's like, yes, we have negotiated an open bar contract with Travis.
Do you
Well,
think
shoot,
that
I guess I'll
would
leave a
hold the
flask
party
in the
without
room.
an open bar? We don't hold anything without an open bar. Do you all listen, I don't really drink, but that's all nobility do. We don't really do anything.
This is my
I'll sort of
first
I'll
time.
have like put my arms also around B and are just like giving her a big hug, but also then just like poking my head out the side and going, Lione, you'll be happy to know Marius has made me promise to stop him from doing that.
Did you agree
Again.
to it?
I did.
Great, thank you.
Provided I'm around to stop him, I will. But he's
Just don't let him go 1-for-1 with Maxilla today.
I
He
think yeah,
mentioned-
you know, hopefully experience is a better teacher.
Don't hold your breath.
Maxilla, can I get an insight check with advantage? You have noticed that Gris got a little weepy when she was talking about Ariadne being able to drink.
Yes. Well, thank God it was advantage. No?
This is
7.
a low DC. Good news, babe, it was a DC 5.
Oh, thank God.
Maxilla, in the last few weeks, you have had the unfortunate experience of Groomsh returning to his little spot in the back of your head. However, as Ariadne leaned up to look at you and you noticed Gris's tears, you can hear Groomsh very clearly. For the first time, he is not telling you to, you know, burn cities down and murder babies and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
He pauses in your head and says, "Now that right there is the kind of death I want you to have, child. Death in glorious combat for your friend."
Thanks. Well, Maxilla won't say nothing about that. I can't, well... Okay, so it was that Maxilla noticed that Gris got weepy when Ari said that they could get drunk again, and then Gromsh said that?
About Ariadne as you looked at them.
Well, damn.
Oh.
Well, Ariadne, don't go too hard.
But it's a lapel party. This is my first one.
Really great, B.
We'll all watch over each other.
Why are we holding back?
Has anybody seen Twig today?
My mother probably has Twig.
There's a knock at the door.
Another knock.
How many people are in my home right now?
Lione!
Mama, come on in.
Lione! Oh! The door swings open and
Are
there's
we
a
not
woman...
still pressed against it?
Okay, the door attempts to swing open and you can
Wait,
feel
like-
someone just jamming it as hard as they possibly can. At this point, there's like someone throwing their body against the door.
I try to get up. I don't know if he lets me.
We'll kind of just roll. I'm gonna just roll on the floor and get out of the way.
I will get up and get out of the way.
So Ari and
Maxilla gets up too, after the roll.
So all three of you get up. The door swings open. Framed in the doorway is a woman who in many ways resembles Lione. Her features are less elven, more human, but she has a similar build. Very curvaceous, beautiful, middle-aged. She goes, Leone, oh, hello, how are you? How are you? It's very nice to meet you. My name is Luciana LaBelle, and you are?
Bofkin.
Oh, it's wonderful to meet you, dear. She sort of like takes one of your fingers in her hand and like awkwardly shakes your hand. Before turning to Maxilla, she looks up at you and goes, and your name?
Hi, ma'am. My name's Maxilla. Maxilla Osteoclast, but you can just call me Maxilla.
Oh, it's lovely to meet you, Maxilla. Lione, are these adventuring friends of yours?
Yes. Do you remember the Harvest Festival I told you about? I brought you that soap back.
Oh, I loved that
That's
soap.
from Maxilla's farm.
Oh, no, that was my neighbor, but yeah.
The same area.
Came from the area.
Yes.
Oh, you're from a farm. That's quaint.
It's quite a nice farm, actually, Mama. All things considered.
Leone,
It ain't much, but it's honest work.
oh yes. Well, I mean, farmers put the food on our table.
Exactly.
Thank you for attending the wedding and for being such a wonderful friend to my daughter. I'll have to send you a gift later. And, Miss Bofkin, are you also an adventuring friend of my daughter's?
Yes, you're sending gifts?
Would you like one?
Oh, you don't put yourself through that trouble.
She's in
but yes.
Oh, an Aquara. Why, you know Aquara's currently under siege, right?
Did you not know that, Bee?
Me and B have been kind of out and about recently, kind of on the mainland.
Oh,
I just look
adventuring.
between the.
Of course, yes, of course. Leone,
Yes.
well, I have a little surprise for Miss Littlefoot.
Okay.
She gestures out into the hallway, and in waddles Twig, in a little, like, hand-sewn custom tux. Maxilla B, there is a baby vulture in this room. It's much larger than baby vultures should be, Maxilla. You know, just, I think that your animal handling is ridiculous. So this is it's larger than a full-grown regular vulture, but it's very clearly a baby. It's in a little tux. And Luciana goes, I had Raphael make him a little tux for the wedding.
Oh, ain't he the cutest, most precious thing I ever did see? Oh my
Leone
lord!
locks eyes with
Oh,
Bee.
Chante! Oh my
Gris
goodness!
runs over to Luciana, stops before she's able to like throw herself upon her, and she's like, "Could I give you a hug?"
Why, Miss Littlefoot, I would be absolutely offended if you demonstrated restraint in that matter.
Oh my god! And Gris just like grabs her, and she's like weepy again. She's like, "I just really needed this today." And he looks so good. And she like slowly pulls away from Luciana and then just like ruffles Twig.
I'll start crying.
I know.
Baby's getting married. She's getting married, man. She's getting married where I wanted to get married, and
He looks at Leone. Who's Twig?
Leone casts message. Twig
Is
is
the
the fucking
bird.
Why do you have a bird?
Leone casts message again. It's not my fucking bird.
Well, why do you have a pig?
It's not my pig!
I found this bird alone, and so now it's mine.
Yeah.
And his name is Twig, and he's perfect.
Very.
Leone, you look so beautiful.
Thank you,
Your
Mama.
face.
Thank you.
Whoever
That was
did your
Bee.
makeup.
That would be. She did so great, right?
Well, I should have known that I'm.
Mama. And Leone puts her hand on her mom's shoulders. And her mom's a bit shorter than her. So she kind of looks down and is like, please pull it together.
I am pulled together.
We have
I'm
multiple hours before. I don't even have the dress on yet.
I know, but okay, so the dress, we moved the dress to the venue so you can put that on there because I'm worried it's gonna get dirty or something. I'm just...
I mean, I could have prestidigitated it. You're really worried. I think sometimes you forget that I do magic.
Honey, no one could forget you do magic. You bring it up constantly. You set half the house on fire at 3 years old. We had to hire Bertram. Which, by the way, one of the best decisions we've ever made. Really, it's improved my mood. It's improved the house altogether. But like recently, his performance has been above and beyond.
I don't even know. Actually.
Your friends, are they gonna... I mean, not to say that the overalls aren't beautiful.
They'll be getting changed.
Oh, what the hell. All right, you aren't nobility. I'm not gonna...
It's fine, Mama.
All right, so, you all have to change, right? You all have clothes. You have clothes. Or Ariadne, have you seen the groom anywhere?
I have. I last believe he was going to find, Bertram but...
Why did he need to find Bertram?
Probably food or something.
Yeah. Just...
Oh, he's hungry? Okay, well, I'll let Bertram know. Miss Littlefoot, I know you have an outfit because we went over the whole thing. You've been such a delight to you, by the way. If I ever had any other children, I would absolutely want you to plan the wedding. If I ever get married, I'll have you plan it. Miss Borfkin, do you have other clothes to wear?
Maybe, perhaps. I don't know if they're appropriate, though.
What do you mean they're not appropriate?
Do you need something from my wardrobe B? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, if you're offering.
Yes, I mean... If
I highly doubt your clothes with you. No offense, Lione, you have a good 7 inches on here, and...
That's a fair point.
B, you're beautiful, you're lovely, never change. You do not have my daughter's figure.
Socks can fix this, and...
Do
it's
you
a
have
wedding,
clothes?
after all.
Why would they be inappropriate? I saw it. Didn't Axilla bring up all the... I saw somebody bring up a bunch of suitcases. Were those not yours? I had to assume they weren't hers because she's got kind of this charming roll thing going on that makes me think that she probably didn't bring 17 bags to a 3-night stay over.
Yeah, but my shirts are pretty big, so every one of my shirts is like 3 of these.
Yes, I have clothes. I'll get changed.
All right, I'm not trying to mother you or anything. Ariadne, you look a little rough. How was the bachelor party? I hope that nobody got up to anything. They didn't drink too much, did they? Because I told Marius, I told him if he drank too much the night before his wedding, I would literally kill him.
No, he was very concerned with not being murdered by you. So he's good. We're
if
good.
he was so concerned, he wouldn't, go off to war right after the wedding. But whatever.
That's a really good point, Mama.
I know. Darling, I need you to know I have been yelling at him every single day about this. Just for you, sweetie.
I don't think yelling's gonna help. Don't worry. I'm just gonna stop the war. It's fine.
Did you have a choice in that? You're gonna... I don't think you're...
Okay, darling, we're going to circle back to that. We need to get you to the venue.
Okay, just...
the rest of you can come too.
People.
You can come too. Just bring your clothes. Bring your clothes. Do you have clothes? Go bring them. Go pick them up. Go grab them.
I put a hand up and I'm like, I presume I do. I generally, in this household, I generally wear what you tell me to.
Bertram's got it handled.
Bertram already brought your whole thing for the Elf of Warner position. It's been, everybody, let's go. There's a carriage outside. It will fit, I think, all of you. I'll follow in a carriage behind. I hope that Marius realizes that Bertram's already at the venue, but if not, I'll grab him. I'll throw him in my carriage.
You should grab him.
Okay, is he just wandering around? He wanders.
I think he's looking for Bertram.
He wanders. It's so funny that a man who's so well-read and so intelligent can be so stupid at the same time. No offense, Lione.
No, I find it charming of him.
Well, that's good. And it's a good thing that he likes women who are smarter than him. I don't know about... His friends are weird. Do you know the orc? I'm not assuming that you all know each other. It just seems to be a very small world in terms of how many orcs I've encountered. You're the second. Was that rude? Oh my god.
Know him, but it's not because he's an orc. I just have stumbled into his tavern before.
They're dating.
Stumbled, huh?
They're together.
When are you getting married?
Oh, well. You know, we're still figuring
Hopefully
things
soon,
out.
honestly.
How long have you been together?
Well, we've been together about probably. Well, we don't have a set start date, but we've known each other and been friendly with each other for about 2 years, I think.
And okay, all right. So he's the one who we hired to. Okay, well,
We're both very
Bye.
busy people.
sure. All right. Well, I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do is get people married off. So don't worry, darling. I have that one in my hand. B, do you have anyone? Would you like me to find you someone? There's plenty of noblemen.
Oh no.
Are you okay, sweetie? You look upset.
Wait, I dry up those tears. There's many noblemen?
Are you okay?
I'm okay. Well, I will be okay.
Oh, darling, what happened?
I turn to Luciana and I go, "Remember Fish Boy?"
Oh, yes, he always was trying to pocket our nice candlesticks.
They were.
He was an asshole to be.
Oh, well, darling, I just
fun.
met you, but I already know you can do a lot better. If he broke up with you, that's not your problem, honey. I will find you so many noblemen at this party, okay?
So many. The noblest.
Oh, honey, how rich do you like them?
I'll put on my best dress.
All right,
But obviously not the best. It's Leone's day.
Right, you're not the bride, but I'll make sure that you'll be the next bride. I've got this. I will find you you want a handsome husband too? I'm assuming you want a handsome.
Preferably, but
All right.
the
So-
noble part comes first. I would prefer that.
Oh, darling, don't worry. I know everything there is to know about this sort of thing. All right, so I will find you either a man who is very handsome and rich, or very rich and very elderly. I've got this. Don't worry about it, darling.
I can tell we're gonna get along very well.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Should I have... Listen, darling, I can tell that we're going to get along very well, so here, I'm going to ask you a question. Leone's not allowed to have any input. The rest of you can have input. Leone, don't answer. Would you like me to have Bertram send a couple of bottles of champagne in the carriage?
Yes, please.
All right, darling.
Could you make that more doubled? And I make eye contact with Ari. I think doubled is the recipe.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, I will send a bottle per person. Somebody can drink Leone's. I know that she's not going to have any.
Everyone else drinking.
Well, Leone, I'm just, you can be very controlling. You have very certain ideas about how things need to play out. You know, it's your way or the highway. I'm aware of this. I raised you. All right. Everybody, go grab your things, get in carriage. Bertram's not here.
We
can carry anything that you need.
There's plenty of servants. They'll bring the champagne. All right, everybody. Out. Get out. Go. We're going to be late.
Lione,
I know we have
heads to the
several
carriage.
hours, but we're going to be late.
As we're going, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Gris tuts to Twig and heads down the hallway and immediately starts yelling at Reese to get his ass off.
I'm so tired, Chickadee. Can't I just meet you at the
No, and get human again. Turn back into a halfling. We don't have time for the bear thing. Don't worry about it, Leone. It's fine. And Gris slams the door shut.
Lione keeps walking because she doesn't have the mental fortitude for it.
Maxwell's gonna lean over to B as they're walking and be like, "Are we changing before we're getting in the carriages, or are we getting ready at the venue?"
I'm also confused on that. Should we just grab one of the random bags I have and hope for the best? You know what? No. Okay.
No, I don't. You just said that you were looking for your best second best dress or something.
Leone, where do we need to get dressed?
Clothing. Bring it in the carriage. Get
Okay.
ready at the place.
All right. Well,
You
Maxwell's
have
gonna grab the
several
2
hours.
suitcases.
So
As we're walking and as I pass by Luciana, I'll jog a little bit, zoom up to her. And I'll go, one more thing, and I would never want to hurt your feelings for you to find out some other way, but I'll shove my hand in front of her face.
Ariadne, you got married and I wasn't invited?
It was just 2 days ago, and in an inn, and
Is she pretty? Is she pretty? Is
I
she
think so.
nice? You think
think so.
you think she's pretty? All right, tell me a little. Just give me the 45-second rundown. Tell me about her.
she's incredible, and she's a cleric, and she's she runs the wildflower, and she's very good at cooking, and she's very pretty, and she just gives very good kisses.
Oh, she sounds lovely. I'm so sorry she couldn't make it. Is she running the inn still? Is she couldn't find anybody to cover for her, that sort of thing?
Yes. Well, there's with everything that was happening with the blockade and
yes,
refugees, there
of
was
course.
a lot more to manage.
Does she need help with the refugees? You said that she's at the wildflower? All right. I'm going to send her some money because if she's helping with the refuge, I'm showing that that's very costly. I already helped Marius. Marius and I wrote a check to the Travis. We sent him. Okay. All right. Well, I'm very happy for you. I'm very proud of you. Here I was thinking I was going to have to find you a wife. Look, you did it yourself. I'm so proud of you. You know, it took Lione so long, and you figured it out. I always knew my mother was right about you. All right. Go get in the carriage. If you're late for my daughter's wedding, if my daughter's late for her wedding, I'll kill everyone. All of you. With my bare hands.
I believe you. And I'm walking backwards away, and I'm like, yeah, bye.
All right, so you all get into the carriages. They sort of bumble along. You all sit together. You enjoy a couple of glasses of champagne. If you enjoy some champagne, please roll constitution checks for me. One for however many glasses you have. Ariadne, you're good. This is just regular alcohol.
I haven't had the...
Yeah.
I will, but I'll mumble under my breath. It's not the same.
Oof.
All right, what'd you get?
I got a 23.
Maxilla, you feel fantastic.
Hell fucking yeah, I do.
I got 4.
You feel fantastic in a completely different way. You have several glasses of champagne, and you arrive at the venue drunk. Drunk.
Oh
Gris, what about you?
13.
Gris, you arrive tipsy. You're in a really good mood. You arrive and the venue looks spectacular. It makes you feel so good. The carriage bumbles to a stop. Trundles to a stop. It stops in a rather bumpy fashion, and you spill a little bit of champagne on yourself, but it's fine because you're gonna change. The door swings open to reveal a beautiful cliff top. Would you like to roll perception?
Yes.
Gris, I'll have you roll insight. Everyone else gets perception. Gris, you've actually seen this venue before.
Ooh,
I got an 18.
Wait,
12.
did I roll performance?
I nat 20.
I rolled the wrong
this
one.
fucking cliff.
I rolled the wrong one, but I got a nat 1.
Okay,
Well,
that's for
you're drunk, so that
performance, though. So
Yeah. Okay, I'll re-roll it.
I got 21, by the way.
All right.
I got 26.
All right, so you all can see really, really well. The door swings open, and all of you see a beautiful cliff top. Someone has arranged chairs for the wedding among the grassy knolls atop this cliff. There's a beautiful archway covered in a myriad of wildflowers braided together with other beautiful greenery.
Is it in a circle or is it an arch? Or?
It's an archway. Yeah. Down the center of this chair arrangement, there is a worn footpath, presumably serving as the aisle. From the cliff top, you can see the Elysian port and the vast stretch of sea beyond it. You can see the harbor, which is crowded with large ships, galleys, and longships and the like, with pristine white sails, each flying the banner of the King's Navy. The grass that covers the hilltop tickles your ankles as you step down from the carriage. Maxilla, you and Ariadne both offer an arm to B, who uses both arms to step down, and then Ariadne, you help Lione down.
Okay.
Gris, you were the first off. You are so excited. The grass feels silky soft beneath your feet. It's damp with morning dew. Gris, in your communications with Luciana while planning this wedding, you've discovered that it was her dream as a young woman to get married on the cliffs of Zolaria. Although the story behind the cliffs is tragic, it is also, you think, one of the greatest love stories of all time. And, is thus a sought-after location for couples to exchange their vows. Would you like to know the story behind it, Gris, with your insight check?
Yes, please.
All right.
Nah, we're good. Keep going.
All right. Fuck me, I guess. I'll just throw away all this. I wrote lore for once. On these cliffs, Gris, near the end of the Great War, the elven princess Zelaria watched as her lover's ship was destroyed by the human navy. The harbor was lit by flames as the elven ships burned, the cries of their sailors echoing off the cliff face. Zelaria, knowing her love was lost, dove from the cliffs to the rocky water below. It is said that, as she fell, tears streaming from her face, her heartbroken cries garnered the pity of the gods, who scooped both she and her lover from the sea and placed them among the stars. In fact, as the first time you visited was at night, the constellation by the name of the Lovers, which, when examined, resembles the form of a woman wrapped in the arms of a man, sits perfectly above this point regardless of the time of year. Its location in the sky is as unwavering and immovable as Zalaria's devotion to her lover.
As they walk, can Gris tell this story and
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Gris is kind of walking quickly, turning around, stopping, pointing at things, and she's telling the story very extravagantly, and she's just so excited. And she's like, I can't believe Luciana didn't get to get married here, but you do, Lione! How incredible! How incredible!
So good. You and my mother did very well. I know I've been giving you all a lot of grief about the planning, but I think you guys have done a really good job.
Really?
Yeah, I really do.
I hope you have a great day, Lione.
It's been good so far. I haven't really had to do anything.
Well, you are going to have to find out how to fit yourself in that dress, so let's go!
I think Raphael might help me with that, right? Raphael's here, right?
Yes, Raphael's here.
Thank God. If he wasn't here, he'd kill me.
Mm-hmm.
You lead Lione to the small cottage that abuts the venue. And as you do, the door swings open and Marius exits. He sees you, Gris, and before his eyes can even get to Lione, he throws his hands dramatically over his eyes and goes, Ariadne, are you here?
You get here so fast.
Would you guide me? So I asked a servant where Bertram was, and they put me in a carriage.
Okay.
Yeah, we found out. And I'll zoom over to him and sort of just take his elbow, and I'm just like, let's go, buddy.
All right.
Chris kind of waves to Ariadne and she's good luck.
Is he already in his tux?
He is not. He has his hair has been combed, and he no longer looks hungover.
He looks good.
Surprisingly good, considering. Never mind.
Oh, I know.
Okay, yeah.
It's my mother that doesn't.
Okay, considering earlier he looks great.
The words were exchanged last night.
Oh.
Not mean ones. Just more so me being like, oh yeah.
Okay, well,
that was the decision you decided to make?
Yes.
To go 1-for-1 with Travis? It's fine.
Oh, you only make that mistake once.
Have you done it? Maxilla?
I'm fine. And me and Travis have gone multiple times if we try to go 1-for-1 with each other, we both end up pretty smashed. But this is around my birthday, and being Tyler tried to follow suit. It was not successful.
Yeah, it's a good birthday.
It's a good birthday. Got a little wild there.
The cottage.
All right. Gris and Lione, you enter the cottage. Luciana follows behind you, leaving Maxilla, B, Ariadne, and Marius standing outside. Marius still has his hands over his eyes. He's like, are they gone?
No, cover your eyes.
You're not the bride, B.
No, but I wanted to see how long he did it for.
I know you. You're you're the girl from the
from the letters. Yes.
The letters that all right. Yeah. My brother's a big fan of your pornographic mail service. He'll want an autograph.
It'll cost him.
That's fine. He's got way too much money. You charge him whatever the fuck you want.
Oh, okay. That sounds. Then I'll be willing to do so.
Well, it's nice to. My name's Marius Steele. Also nice to meet you in person, Maxilla, instead of through a door.
Mm. Yeah,
Do you guys think that Ariadne is being a little weird?
I'm standing right here.
I know. I'm getting a second and third opinion.
You seem a little quiet, Ari, but
I haven't been hungover in a very long time.
yeah, you do lack that little spring in your step.
I will say that you would have usually caught me. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm very hungover, and you just launched. If I recall, you didn't make it last time. So, can I really be expected?
I was expecting you to catch me. But is there something wrong, Ari? I think it's
Besides
it was
fact
just the
that
alcohol.
I was so
right?
rudely taken away from my newlywed.
I mean, that would upset anyone.
Yeah, I mean, and I turned to Marius and I put a hand on her shoulder. I'm like, not that I don't want to be here, because I do, and I'm so.
I'm
happy
just
for
saying,
you.
I could use
but-
Travis as my best man. He still doesn't understand what human weddings are, but he's very good
No.
at standing in one spot and not saying anything.
This is very true, but I've got it. I'm just saying, I think I'm allowed to be grumpy that I miss my wife.
That's true. That's true. Inside, Lione, you put on your dress. Gris helps you. Marius kind of exchange pleasantries with B and Maxilla, and Ariadne. Eventually, you and he retreat to the cottage. Put on
We
your
gotta
clothes.
get ready at some point.
Maxilla and B, you do have an opportunity to go find a room. You sort of follow Ariadne in. B really is very confident in it. Maxilla, you're a little bit more awkward. You do have to duck down a little bit to get through the doorway.
Yeah.
But the house is
Ain't that the
human-sized. So it is appropriately sized for you inside. You and B do find your bags delivered presumably by a servant in a spare room and are able to change. The sun outside begins to set. You all sort of enjoy some champagne. Marius enjoys exactly one glass of champagne, Ariadne, and then switches to water. You are quite proud of him. B, you enjoy all the champagne your little heart can enjoy. Gris, you have an appropriate amount. Reese eventually stumbles in, and you help him get ready too. Maxilla, what's up?
I will say, anytime that B is leaving, like, because Maxilla's worried about, like, over drinking, especially before the wedding, and so anytime that B is leaving, like, any amount of alcohol and she looks away, Maxilla's grabbing it and finishing it because she knows she'll be fine and she's watching B.
What a good friend. I'm not gonna
Do I
lie to
notice-
the audience here. I've seen Allie do the
Do I
same
notice
thing to
Maxilla do this
Stacy
at
in
all?
real life. Yes.
Then I'll
you
join
sort
in.
of
I'll be like, I know you'll be fine, but also I'm literally immune.
you kind of bounce between Marius's chambers where Thad is giving him advice that's all awful. You try to counteract it as much as you can.
Tell him I'll leave. I tell him I'll leave. I'll give them a brotherly moment.
Thad, thanks so much, Biddy. I appreciate it, homie. All right, so here's the thing about women, man, all right? There's this thing called negging, okay? All right? I found it has 100%...
Sorry, as I
Success.
close the door.
100% success rate, all right? So what you gotta do is you insult them, and then you ask them, Marius is like, okay, first of all, terrible advice. Second of all, she's already agreed to marry. I don't know what you... You close the door, you go downstairs, you spend some time with B and Maxilla. The sun begins to set, and Luciana shoos all of you out of the house. Maxilla and B, you find your seats on the bride's side of the aisle. And Ariadne, you and Marius take your place at the front of the large group of nobility and strange adventuring friends you've made over the past year or so. You all sort of settle into comfortable chit-chat. Marius jokes with you, Ariadne. Gris, you and Reese take your seat next to Luciana, who actually takes your hand and gives it a firm squeeze, and she looks at you and you can see tears in her eyes. Maxilla and B, you sit behind them, although eventually, Maxilla, you realize that maybe it would be better if you move to the back.
I was gonna go to, like, the wing, like, the farthest seat, maybe. That way, like, I could just maybe lean so everybody else can see.
You move to the wing, and as you do, you feel a hand on your shoulder. And Travis is standing behind you. He's actually, he's in a nice outfit. It's not particularly fancy, and it looks a little tight in the shoulders. It's definitely like he bought the largest size he possibly could. He looks great, Maxilla. He looks very sexy, yeah.
And I grab him by I grab the hand on his shoulder and be like, well, don't you clean up, Nass.
I could say the same about you. You always look beautiful, though.
Hi, Travis.
B,
Nice
I'm gonna have to
see you.
I'm gonna tell the kid to cut her off just right off the bat.
I haven't watched her. We'll see.
Have I? Yes, I've tried the champagne. I'm gonna maybe sit behind you so we can both. And he does like a little leaning gesture. He sits down. You can see Tyler kind of flitting around the edges of the party. It doesn't look like he was necessarily invited. Maybe he's there to work and got there a little early. Presumably Travis was his ride.
Small wave to Tyler.
He gives you a really awkward wave and sort of like ducks out of sight. B, he does shoot you a concerned look. The rest of you all sort of you sit down. Like I said, there's comfortable chatter filling the air. Marius, however, sort of straightens up at a certain point, Ariadne, and you presume that the ceremony is about to begin. You take your place beside him. Marius stands in front of the archway, dressed in a new formal naval uniform. You can see there's a few new kind of badges affixed to his lapel, presumably for someone who is actively in the military rather than retired. Beside him, framed by the braided flowers and foliage, appears Veldethus. He clutches to his chest a worn, thick book. And as the chatter of the guests kind of dies down with this feeling of this ceremony about to start, Veldethus begins to speak. Friends and family of Lione and Marius, thank you for coming today. Please rise. You don't have to stand up. Thank you, though. You all stand, and a sweet, nostalgic song fills the air. You notice a quartet of bards to the left of the archway have begun to play. At the end of the worn footpath, emerging from the doorway of the cottage, Lione appears. She wears a beautiful cream-colored silk gown, tight and in the bust and ruched at the waist, billowing out into a full ball gown skirt. The long train of the dress is held aloft by tiny glimmering lights that bob up and down, never quite letting the pristine cloth touch the ground. Leone's hair is for once swept up into an updo, with a few loose curls framing her face, and her ears are plainly visible for all in the audience to see. Atop her head sits a delicate silver tiara of sorts, holding in place the white veil that drifts behind her, swinging gently with each step. Ariadne, you are standing next to Marius, and you notice that he has tears in his eyes. As Lione approaches him, he beams and takes both of her hands, and Lione, he does lean into you and whisper, "You are the most beautiful thing I have ever seen."
Lione casts message back and says, "You're looking quite handsome yourself."
I don't look nearly as radiant as you do. You look like a goddess.
Well, thank you.
Veldethus sort of looks between the two of you and then looks out to the audience. This evening's ceremony celebrates the love between two people that mean so much to all of us, but it celebrates much more than that. Tonight's celebration is a ceremony that celebrates destiny. It's a celebration of the forces that tie us together, of the joy that comes in finding your fate. Marius, Lione, to marry someone is to bind your destiny to theirs. To love each other, regardless of the outcome. As Zolaria bound her fate to her lover, so do you bind yours, Marius, to that of Lione, and Lione, so do you bind yours to that of Marius. I presume you've written your own vows?
Lione gently nods.
Marius is like, yeah, he looks really nervous now.
She looks at him and casts a message and is like, don't worry, mine aren't very long.
Oh, good. Mine are really off the cuff. That
It's okay.
the first ones were in Elvish, and Ariadne pointed out that most of it was actually offensive. It was very poorly translated.
Not that anyone in the audience would know. This is all happening in message.
Veldithis would know, as would Brayfield. Okay.
And that's enough. Yeah, I get it.
All right. Shall the bride begin with hers?
Yeah. Lione kind of like squeezes Marius's hands and says, we will have a lifetime to show each other why we are meant to be together. But I am forever grateful that fate brought us together that day on that island, and that you saved our lives, and we saved yours. I love you, and I do.
Lione, I thought before that I had found the person for me, and obviously it didn't work out, but I now know why. It was so I could meet the strongest, most passionate, most wonderful woman in the world. I am excited and hopeful to spend my future with you. Forever is not long enough to show you how much I love you, but I will do my best every single day to care for you, to support you, to believe in you. You are the kindest and most wonderful person. I am so lucky to know you. I can't wait to get to know you more. I do as well.
Leon's crying a little.
Veldithis looks between the two of you and smiles very softly and says, well then, if anyone sees reason to object to the binding of these two destinies in marriage, speak now, or I suppose that's my cue. Materializing in the middle of the aisle from thin air is a middle-aged elven man, clothed in crimson robes with an obsidian crown resting atop his head. Luciana, in the front row, gasps audibly, and Grish, she grabs your hand so tight you feel like it's going to break. The man smiles to the crowd before turning back to Veldithis, who watches him with an even and unreadable expression. The man grins widely, exposing 2 rows of pointed, sharp teeth. Veldithis, Elias, Lione, your father turns his terrifying grin towards you, opens his mouth, and begins to speak. Can I get wisdom saving throws from everyone?
Oh,
Yeah.
B and Maxilla, you both get advantage on this, as you've never seen this man before in your life.
We get advantage on a wisdom saving throw because we've never seen him before?
Oh my
Yep.
god.
Oh, I-
Sexy roll.
27.
God.
Oh my
'cause
god.
that's fucking
Okay.
+1. Okay, that's 19.
I also got a 19.
Nice.
I got a 16.
Thank
Nice.
God, holy shit.
I got a 9.
Oh no. Okay, what'd you get, Ari?
27.
Whew! Ariadne, I'm
Oh,
guilty. All right. Game
I was like-
recognized game.
I got caught off guard once. Not happening again.
All right, I will have you know that the DC for that was a 16. So B, you just barely snuck in there. Gris, it feels as if the air is sucked from the atmosphere. You look over to your right and notice that Reese is also gasping for air. Luciana beside you is gasping for air. Your vision begins to fade to black, and as it does, you hear a little voice in your head.
Oh, come on. I believed in you. You gotta hold on just a little bit longer.
Gris, you can re-roll that wisdom saving throw.
Heyo.
And you get the help action, so you get a
Well, I got
advantage.
a 22, so that should be
Perfect. All right. You sort of manage to catch your breath, and you watch as the wedding party around you seems to all fall asleep, leaving all of you sitting together. Maxilla, you sit there, and you hear from behind you a familiar voice. Oh, and here I was going to object too. B, darling, you didn't wear white to the wedding? Oh, I thought I would have, given birth to someone a little bit more fun. Behind you stands a beautiful, curvaceous demon woman. Bright pink skin, features incredibly similar to Bee's. Dressed in what appears to be a wedding dress. It's white, it's long. There's like a little tiara on her head. She goes, "Oh, Lione, well, one of us is going to have to change, and it won't be me."
Gris is like visibly pissed, and she like clenches her fist in like Arthur style, and she's like, "It's gonna be you, bitch."
Lione doesn't even take her attention away from her dad. She's just like locked in on her dad. Like, how could you do this, you fucking asshole?
I feel like corruption's here for us, though.
Marius looks sort of between all of you. He also succeeded his wisdom saving throw. Man's so wise. And goes, "Lione, I didn't know he was on the guest list."
He wasn't.
"I don't subscribe to that sort of thing, and
You
really,
should.
Lione, I can't believe you invited an orc and some hellspawn to your wedding. They really..." He snaps his fingers, and B and Maxilla, the air is sucked from your lungs, and your vision goes black. "They really don't belong here. This is a family ordeal, is it not?" He snaps his fingers one last time, and you can hear corruption laughing as the three of you, Gris, Ari, and Lione, feel your souls drift from your body into an immaterial plane. We will be back next week with part 2 of the Tabletop Tavern. Thank you so much to our guests, Allie and Stacy, for making a beautiful appearance. I didn't think it was fair to wrap this campaign without the chance to say goodbye to some of our favorite NPCs.
They would be at the wedding.
Thank you all so
inviting
much
us.
for joining us. We will be back next week. We will not have guests next episode, but we will have our lovely main cast here with us for part 2 of the thrilling conclusion. I'm really excited, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you all next week.
Thank you, guys.